welcome to your yoga practice today. We're going to be working on some heart openers today. So let's start here. Come to that child's pose position. So again, knees are going to be apart, heels are together, hands are stretched out in front of you. And from that position, we're just going to soften those shoulders, let the hips rock back towards your heels, and then just close your eyes and feel your breath coming in and out through your nose. I think if this is your time, just to kind of gather your thoughts, and I'll let those thoughts pass by as you begin to use your breath a little bit more deeply. So let's inhale that air in, trying to inhale for 4 counts, and then exhale for your 4 counts as well. And again, if you're not able to get to that full 4 counts, feel free to make it a little bit of a shorter duration. But again, just lengthen out the breath as much as your body will allow you to today. Good. When you start to get comfortable with that elongation of your breath, start to bring a little constriction to the back of that throat. So come to that Ujjayi breath. It's kind of like you're fogging up a mirror here. Good. You should hear that audible breath. And again, make it just a little deeper, a little louder. So you're building up some energy into your body. All right, let's take it into all fours. So we're going to bring our hands underneath our shoulders, our knees underneath our hips. Move through a few cat-cows, warming up that spine at the same time that you're doing so. So again, inhale, drop your belly down, and exhale, roll your spine back up. Take it at your own pace, but use your breath as your indicator of when you're going to be moving here. Take it 2 more times through each of those postures. And we'll eventually meet back in a flat back. And then from that point, curling your toes under, lifting up to our downward facing dog by pressing the hips backwards towards the ceiling, shimmying the shoulders out of the ears, making time just to move a little bit through your heels if that feels good to you. We're going to do a few little shoulder shrugs. So we're shrugging our shoulders upwards towards our ears. It feels a little weird when you're downwards, but it'll be make a little bit more interesting as you come down and really keep the shoulders out of the ears. So shrug up and shrug down. Shrug up and shrug down. Now keeping those shoulders down. Remember that sensation when you're in your mountain pose. It's the same sensation we should have with those shoulders. Walk your feet between your hands, forward fold top of your mat. From this position, bring your hands on top of your shins. Stick your chest out, squeeze the shoulder blades back and together so they're just gliding down in the back pockets of your hips. Flatten out your neck, hold here. Lift your chest just a little higher than you think you need to. Holding here and breathing. Let's take another deep inhale. And as we exhale, fold it down towards your floor, melt your upper body down. Step into those feet, stand up nice and tall, reaching your hands up above your head. Taking a deep inhale, coming to our mountain pose. Exhale, hands, heart center, calming breath coming back in towards that heart center. Let's take it again. Inhale, mountain pose. Elongate that spine. Exhale, hands, heart center. Let's take it again. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, hands, heart center. Close your eyes just for a moment in time. So the thumbs are going to be at your heart center. While we are holding here, you're pressing into your feet. Feel all points of your feet, the front edges, the back edges, all equally pressing down into your mat. Tuck that tailbone under, drop the shoulders down. Now from here, lift your chest, your heart a little higher in towards your thumbs, feeling that tiny baby back bend. We're going to open up our hearts today. This is just the beginning of it. Holding here, breathing. Keeping that image of the heart opening throughout your entire practice today. Let's blink the eyes open. Inhale, bring your hands up above your head. We're going to take a deep inhale as we do this. And then exhale, baby back bend. Lift your chest, lift your sternum even higher than you did the first time for that back bend. Exhale, bring your hands all the way through towards your feet. Lower your upper body down. Let's inhale, halfway lift again. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to our mountain pose. Reach the hands up over this head. Exhale, goalpost arms. So we're going to bend our elbows, flare them out to the sides. Lift the center of your chest to the ceiling. Rock those shoulders down, just like you did for those downward facing dogs. Lift your chest. Make sure your breath is still steady. Let's inhale back to mountain. Hands stretched to the ceiling. Exhale, take it down. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, back to our mountain pose. Use your glutes to stabilize. Exhale, back bend a little deeper than we did that second time. So we're opening up, maintaining that breath. Creating that back bend through the upper back versus the lower back. Staying here. Inhale, rise back up, mountain. Exhale, take it down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low plank, that Chaturanga. Again, any variation. Inhaling, lifting, arching your back. Exhaling, pulling backwards, downward facing dog. Hips rise up towards the ceiling. Shrug those shoulders from your ears. Let's inhale that right leg high, float it. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Lower that left knee down to that mat. Your hands are going to come on top of that right knee. Lift your chest up nice and tall. Back bend here. Press your hips forward. Squeeze your butt. That way we protect that lower back. So we're lifting out of that lower back versus dumping downwards. Hold here and just breathe. Good. Take your hands back down to the floor. Shimmy your hips backwards, downward facing dog. Hips rise up towards the ceiling. Press your chest a little bit closer towards your toes. Inhale, left leg high, float it to the ceiling. And then exhale, step the left foot between your hands. Set your right knee down onto your mat. Hands come on top of your left knee. Press your hips forward. Lift your torso out of your hips. Lift your chest. Open it up. Bring your hands back down to that mat, downward facing dog. Hips rise up towards that ceiling. Taking a deep inhale to prepare. Exhale, hands forward, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, chest comes out, back is flat. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, mountain pose, hands up overhead. Exhale, goalpost arms, lift your chest. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, dive down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, chest comes out. Exhale, high to low plank, Chaturanga. Lower it down. Inhale, upward facing dog, baby cobra. Exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Hips rise up towards the ceiling. Let's warm up our upper body just a little bit more. So we're going to inhale our right leg high, floating up to the ceiling. Exhale, knee between your nose, holding here. Inhale, leg high. Exhale, knee, right elbow. Inhale, leg high. Exhale, knee, left elbow twist. Inhale, leg high. Exhale, step that right foot between your hands, low lunge. Back knee is away from that mat this time. We're going to be at a 45-degree angle with that left foot, so the toes are pointing slightly outwards. From this position, moving into a warrior one pose. Hands up over your head, breathing here. So take a minute or two, adjust those hips. So we're pushing the left hip forward, the right hip back, bending into that right thigh. Hands up overhead in time. Good. Feel a little heat with the lower body. From this position, we're going to weasel our hands back behind us towards our tailbone. Press the palms in towards one another. If they don't reach back there, grab a strap, hang onto the strap, both hands around it. From this position, you're going to lift your chest up. Lift it up as tall as you can, creating that back bend. Hold here and breathe. We'll be here for 4. Humble warrior in 3, 2, and 1. Humble warrior. So you're going to hinge forward, keeping that right shoulder inside that right thigh, bringing the chin into your collarbones, shifting that left hip forward, reaching those hands higher and higher, just as you're bowing forward, creating some space through your neck, through those shoulders. We're here for 3, and 2, And 1. Inhale, rise up, warrior 1. Once again, hands up over your head. Exhale, warrior 2. Right hand is forward, left hand is back. Bend deeply into that right thigh, holding here and breathing. Reach forward with that right hand. Bring your right hand inside your right thigh. Left hand stretches to the ceiling. Now you're opening up your chest as much as you can, creating a twist. If you'd like to go extended side angle, feel free to. Left hand reaches up and over, away from that left foot. Hold here, breathe for 4. Here for 3, reverse your warrior in 2. And 1. Reverse our warrior. Right hand rises up. Lift that right hand up. Bend a little deeper into that right thigh. Hold, breathe for 4. 3. Down dog in 2. And 1. Downward facing dog. Bring your hands inside that foot. Shift your hips backwards, down dog. Inhale, left leg high this time. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, your leg high. Exhale, knee left elbow. Inhale, leg high. Exhale, knee right elbow. Inhale, leg high. Exhale, step that left foot between your hands. Back heel is down into the mat. Once again, we're moving into our warrior 1. So if you need to widen out your stance, feel free to. Sometimes that helps just reset your pelvis a little bit. Hands up over your head. Breathe. So from here, we're driving our right hip forward, bending into that left knee, tucking the tailbone under so you feel a really big stretch to that right hip flexor. Stay here and breathe. We're here for 3. In 2. Chest expansion in 1. Float your hands back. Interlace those fingers behind your back or as close as you can get towards that direction. Lift your chest up. Back bend. Lift the sternum to the ceiling. Drop your shoulders down your back. Hold. We're going to slide down into our humble warrior here today. So again, bring that left shoulder forward. Try to bring it inside that left thigh if possible. Hands come up overhead if your shoulders allow you to today. Good. Let's inhale, rise back up. Warrior 1, hands up over our heads. Exhale, warrior 2, left hand reaches forward, right hand reaches back, bend deeper into that left knee. When you're ready to, side angle, left hand stretches forward, then inside the left thigh. Right hand either comes up towards the ceiling or float it away from that right foot. You're still lifting through that left side body. Hold here and breathe. We're here for 4. In 3. Reverse our warrior in 2. And 1. Use your legs to help you move back to that reverse warrior. Left hand rises up. Lift your torso out of your hips. Drop that left shoulder down. Here for 3. In 2. And 1. Hands back down to that floor. Downward facing dog. Hips rise up towards that ceiling. Taking a deep inhale to repair. Exhale. Step your feet between your hands. Forward fold. Inhale. Halfway lift. Exhale. Fold forward. Inhale, mountain pose. Hands rise up. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Good. So we're going to move 1 breath, 1 movement for our vinyasa flow today. Inhale, rise up with that right leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee right elbow. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee left elbow. Inhale, leg high. Exhale, step that foot between your hands. Inhale, rise up, warrior 1, hands up overhead. Exhale, interlace those fingers. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, humble warrior. Inhale, warrior 1, hands overhead. Exhale, transition, warrior 2. Inhale, slide forward. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse our warrior. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, leg high. Exhale, knee left elbow. Inhale, leg high. Exhale, right elbow. Inhale, leg high. Exhale, step that foot between your hands. Place it gently down there. Inhale, warrior one, hands overhead. Exhale, interlace those fingers. Inhale, rise your chest up. Exhale, humble warrior. Inhale, warrior one, hands overhead. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, stretch forward. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse your warrior, left hand rises. Exhale, hands back down, downward facing dog. Hips rise up to the ceiling. Take a few deep inhales and exhales. Watch those shoulders. And when you're ready to, step your feet all the way through your hands to take a seat on your mat. And then from here, we're actually going to rock our way down. If you want to lay down on your side first and transition back that way, feel free to. But from here, roll down onto your back if that feels good to you in your back. Again, we want to make sure our neck is really nice and aligned with the rest of our body. So avoid looking side to side or even looking towards the computer or the TV that you're watching right now. Hands are going to be down by your sides, by your hips. From here, heels are in line with your hips. And then from this position, we're going to come up to our bridge pose. So we're going to gently lift our hips up to the ceiling. Make sure our pressure is on our shoulder blades versus our neck. We don't want to hurt that neck by any means. Holding here, just breathing. So we're thinking about opening up that center portion of our chest, that sternum. It's just being drawn up towards the ceiling like a crane. Holding here. Good. Roll yourself back down. Let's do a second set. This time, if you feel to, you want to, you can bring your hands back behind you to open up your pecs just a little bit more in those shoulders. So let's roll ourselves back up into that bridge. We're to walk our hands back behind us, just like we did with those interlacing fingers when we were in that humble warrior. Same thing here. Try to pinch those shoulder blades back towards one another. Keep that chin slightly tucked. Still the breath is constant. Hold here and breathe. And if you've been sitting at the desk all day, it's a really nice one to open up those chest muscles and holding here and breathing. We're going to gently walk our way back down. Get a little counter stretch. Hug the knees into our chest, rock it side to side. We're going to come to a kneeling posture next. So if you want to, you can rock side to side, forward and back, rock and roll till you come into a kneeling posture. And again, with our kneeling posture, we're moving into a camel pose. It's a really big heart opener, but it's a really nice one at the same time. It can kind of be kind of scary. So from here, if you want to, 2 fists width apart between your knees. You can measure it out yourself if that feels good to you. Otherwise, just guesstimate. From this position, I like to put my toes down just so that way you can create a little bit of big back bend and work your way towards that flat toe if that feels a little bit better to your spine. Hands are going to be in the back pockets of your hips. We'll tuck our tailbones under, so you're pulling that belly button in. From this position, you're lifting your chest up just like you did for that bridge. So lift your chest up. We want to avoid dumping into that lower back. So you're feeling like you're just lifting upwards and then reaching back. If it feels good to you, feel free to bring your hands on your heels. Open up your chest. It's not a requirement though. We want to maintain our breath. If that breath stops, we need to back away from it and push our bodies back to a little closer towards our starting position. Try to keep those eyes open and breathe. Good. Bring your chin back into your collarbones. Bring your hands back to your hips. Press your hips forward. Take a counter stretch. Hips back towards your heels. Hands down towards the floor. Chin into the collarbones. Child's pose stretch. And then we're going to gently walk our hands off to our left side of the mat. Right hand on top of that left hand. Right hip down and back. And then let's walk our hands over to our right. Left hand stays on top of that right. Shift your hips back. Make your way back up to center. Come to a seated position. We'll move into our eagle arms, just in a seated position. We've been working a lot of the back, so I just want to stretch out those areas so your muscles aren't terribly sore tomorrow, hopefully. All right, so we're gonna bring our arms off to the sides. You're gonna cross the elbows, so one elbow on top of the other here, just so you can kind of see the dynamics. From this position, you can either give yourself a big bear hug if the shoulders will allow you to, holding here. If they allow you to do a little bit more, we're gonna do our eagle posture with our arms. So we're gonna twizzle our arms around one another, palms coming towards one another. From this position, just so you can see, is that the shoulders are staying low and the elbows are coming up a little high. As we bring those elbows as high as we can, we may even just bring the hands a little farther away from us. If you're in the bear hug, just hold there and breathe. You should feel a really good stretch to the back of the shoulders, potentially the top of the shoulders as well. Now, take note of which hand's on top, because we're going to switch into the opposite hand on top. So unravel those arms, off to the other side. So again, elbows cross, bear hug for option 1, option 2, twizzling those arms around one another. Lift the elbows, keep the shoulders low, otherwise we lose that stretch. From here, hands come forward just a little bit if that felt good to you, and hold and breathe. Good, unravel those arms. Let's bring our hands up overhead, taking a deep inhale. Exhale, hands, heart center. Good. So now's the time you can either find this comfortable seated position, you come to a final Shavasana, whichever one feels better to you right now, I want you to go into that posture. Once you get into that posture, find a space that feels comfortable to you to hold and maintain for just a few moments. So if you're seated, feel the hips press down. If you're lying down on your back, feel the neck just lengthen. And we're just holding here and breathing, closing the eyes. Note here, find little areas, breathe into the areas that you feel that tension in, or if there's no tension, just breathe normally. Feel that air come into your chest, near your heart, and with every inhale, allow it to filter in just a little bit more and expand just like a balloon, opening up. As you exhale, release any leftover tension in the rest of your body. We'll take just a few of those. Opening up our hearts with each individual breath that you have. Come to your normal breathing pattern. Tuned to that nice, even breath, to that calm feeling that you have. Knowing that you can come back to that feeling, that sensation anytime throughout the day. For those of you who want a little extra time meditating, feel free to stay there. For those of you who are ready to come out, gently come back to a seated position. Bring your hands to your heart center. Lift your chest towards your thumbs, feeling how much more open your chest, your heart is for the entire world. Bring your thumbs to the third eye center, that space in the middle of your eyebrows, pushing gently into that space, that scene of enlightenment. It's an honor and privilege to guide you through your practice today. Namaste.